The following video has been approved by MTRCV for appropriate audiences. According to Mr. Thom D1 ratings, the video shown has been rated G. General audiences, all age admitted. Normal people may require. Good afternoon. Have a nice day. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hi. Good afternoon. I'm Tom. I'm so nervous. So excited. Stress. Hello, statistics. Hello, research. Hello. Good afternoon, Mom. Hello, classmates. How are you? How are you today? It's been great, isn't it? Oh, right. Fantastic. Yeah, fantastic talagang climate ngayon. Shine, no? Buhay na buhay ang haring araw. Okay. Today, I want to tell you about the pressing issue. No, not the Russians, not the Ukraine, not even the Pink Lawan or the BBM, okay? Nor the Omicron virus, I mean, talaga naman, nauutal tuloy ako. So nervous. I'm here to talk about collecting data. The most important thing I want to share you today is the methods of collecting data. Okay? Siyempre, by survey, yes, survey. Okay? By observations, okay? And a little bit of experimental method, in which my brilliant ace partner out there, Sir Vince the Prince, will clearly share to you whichever you need to know. Okay? But first, let me finish this. Yes, experimentation. Okay. Yes. But first, did you know that it takes less than a seconds to make a first impression? And did you know that your verbal communication is 12.5 times more powerful than your words? Do you agree? Okay ba kayo dyan? Reminder, classmates. Greater effort leads to better quality data. The more effort you put into this data, okay, this data collection stage, the better quality your data is going to be. Right? Sabi ng mga sosyal, right? Okay. Ito po si Kuya Tom pala. Kuya Tom. Ito po si Kuya Tom nagsasabi, mag-aral ng mabuti upang ang buhay bumuti. Okay? Sa Chinese naman, mag-aral ng mabuti sa komersyo para umunlad ang negosyo. Okay. Now, let's begin. When it comes to stage of collecting data, right now, what you should have to be done before you talk about data collection, is to have to determine your objectives. No? Your objectives. Okay. What are exactly you are looking for? Or what do you want to achieve? Okay. And also, you may want to determine who your sample is. Who are they? Or who are your respondents? Your respondents are. Who are those people? Who are those people you talk about data collection? Now, once you determine the objectives and the sample and the respondents, this in turn determine which method or strategy you will use in your data collection. Okay? So, data is an extremely important. Okay? It is extremely important factors when it comes to gaining insights about a specific topic. Study, research, or even people. This is why it is regarded as a vital component of all the system that makes up our world today. In fact, data collections, the data offered, it offers a broad range of applications in our modern age. So, whether or not you're considering digital transformation, data collection is an aspect that you should never brush off, especially if you want to get insights, make forecasts, manage your operations in a way that creates significant value. Okay? However, people still gravitate towards confusion when they come to terms with the idea of data collection. Okay? Let's start in survey. Okay? Diba sabi ko sa inyo, survey, observation, and a little bit of experimentation. But what I will be discussing is only survey and observation. Then, a little bit of experimentation. A little bit only. Introduction. Okay. Surveys are a useful way to collect information about a range of topics. And there are different types of surveys depending on what kind of information you need. Okay? I will briefly talk about 4 different types of survey. As you can see in my presentation, yung type of surveys: telephone, mail, face-to-face, and online. All of them are sorbet, under the sorbet. Okay. Telephone. Look at the telephone. Okay. Telephone. Okay. Because most everyone has access to a phone, and because we have yellow page telephone directories, and also there is what we call, I don't know here in the Philippines, but in our place we have the script yellow. No, joke. What I mean is the scrape yellow page. It is an online directory. It's so easy to have access to the phone numbers. Okay. Another one is the First Hub, a free and powerful web scraper, scraping all data from Yellow Page. Okay? But the downside of telephone survey is that it can cost a lot of money. Money. No? And many people, wise, they screen all their calls kasi nga, they are using caller IDs. Dami yan, ang dami nabibili dyan. Kaya yung mga bahay-bahay natin, may mga caller ID. Okay. So, let's go to mail. Mail survey are useful because generally most people have a permanent address. Okay? Okay. They receive mail, and there are organizations you can obtain a database from postal services that contains every delivery address in a country. That way you can send questionnaires to a random sample of a group of people in a given location. Mail surveys also allow respondents to take the survey in the privacy of their own home, and at a time that is very convenient for them. Although relatively inexpensive, mail survey have a low response rate, very low. Why? Since people might think that survey is a junk mail, or they will say they forgot. They forget to complete. Then they will just return the survey. Okay. Let's go to face-to-face. Meet Bongbong and Tony. or the winner. Okay, let's see. Face-to-face. Face-to-face are probably the most expensive survey. Tignan niyo si Jessica Suhol. Especially when you want to conduct a lot of interviews, and those interviews are spread across the large geographical area. Okay? Well, the biggest benefits of this survey is the higher response rate. Napakataas, no? Why? People are generally more likely to agree to answer. Gusto nila yan. Gusto nila, lalo ako, dapat may lumapit sa akin. Mabango, magandang girl, sexy, very attentive ako niyan. Talagang puro yes lang ako, walang no. Okay, then, pero hindi ko man nakaintindihan kasi nakatingin ako sa ganda ang ganda-ganda niya kasi, di ba? Wow. So, while the biggest benefits of this survey yun nga, higher salary. People are generally more likely to agree to answer, no? When they ask siyempre, face-to-face by people standing right in front of them. Okay. Okay. So let's go in online survey. Online surveys are useful because they tend to be much cheaper than telephone. Cheaper siya than the telephone. The mail and the face-to-face survey. This is especially true if you have access to your target populations and email addresses. Okay. If you don't, then you may need access to an online panel. May mga online sa website, no? An online panel is made up of people who have been recruited or have volunteered to take online survey. Okay. The online or the panel, they provide their contact informations to a company or organizations that then sends them different surveys via internet. The respondents usually get some type of small financial incentives for every survey they complete. No, may mga bayaran. Like may online surveys allow respondents to take the survey at a time and location that is convenient for them. Okay. The sample of this, from courtesy of Active Trail Company. Yan ang sample. Okay? Are you satisfied? Yung tinatanong kayo, di ba? Okay. So, surveys, which is, I'm sure you're quite familiar na, kaya survey can be done either by post, when you mail them, or if they complete them by themselves. Maybe they collect it voluntarily or could be online or through email. There are many ways of distributing survey. Okay. Now, the key facts in data collections by survey is that the responses can be analyzed with quantitative method, meaning quantity, I'm talking about numbers, percentage, numerical values, to liquid scale, type scales, liquid type scales, which you are very familiar with. Generally, it is also easier to analyze as compared to qualitative, which is words, qualitative. Okay? When you have numbers and percentage, it's just easier to analyze than as compared to a lot of words. Okay? It can also be done by pre-test and after pre-test, post-test. Okay? Pre-test meaning you can take one survey in the beginning. Okay? Maybe after a period of time, you take a second survey, which is the post-test. Then the result of the two can be compared, analyzed for similarities or differences. Okay? And some sort of things like that. Okay? As mentioned recently, the face-to-face interview can be done formally, as in very structured. Okay? It is arranged accordingly to plan. Planado. You have all the questions and the interviewees will answer only what is only in the questions, structured. No? It can also be, say, semi-structured. Means you have some questions, and then you allow some freedom for the interviewee. Siyempre, bigyan mo siya ng freedom, no? Pwede siya magsalita kahit ano, no? Okay. Freedom for your interviewees, to say other things and other stuffs. Okay. That could be very, very informal. Okay. The question should be very clear, and it should encourage an open-minded responses. Open-minded. Okay. Open-minded means is that you don't restrict your interviewee. Your interview. Yeah. Giving them options. It open for them to give any variety of answer. No? Sort of thing like that. And it is mainly qualitative in nature because it is mostly in words. You don't have numbers. Okay. Example, one-on-one conversation with a parent, yung nanay ng isang batang problemado na at risk. Kasi that student open not coming to school, to class, absent. And that's something for you to understand the issue. Okay. Another example, an interview with the smoker. Mga drug addict dyan, yung mga mahilig sa shabu. Okay. To understand what is their motivation on their urge or on their yung desire nila to smoke or mag-shabu or mag-drugs. Now, the main thing is that face-to-face interview normally help you more in understanding the issue, right? Social na naman tayo, right? Okay. So now, let's go now to observation. Yan. Observation. Observation then would definitely have to be face-to-face. Okay? Because you are observing certain key important things related to your studies. Now, some facts about it is that when you do observations, you observe people. Okay? You study the situation like that. Okay? How the real life, the true life, story ng mga tao. Okay? Hindi lang tao, pati mga chimpanzee. Okay? Okay, how it actually occurs. Okay? Or it could be the frequency comes. Okay? You will count the number of times a certain behavior happens or certain other behavior. You count them how often it happens. Okay? It's a true source of providing additional information about a particular group because you can use video tayo, to provide documentation or evidence of certain behavior. Observations where you describe what happens, which is qualitative, or it can be quantitative when you count how often you see that particular behavior lasts. Example, your observation in the classroom to see how the teachers and the student interact. Ayan. See? Yun, nasa loob sila ng classroom. No? How the student work in groups. Okay? Observations is a way of gathering. Okay? Okay. It is a way of gathering data by watching the behavior, events, or nothing, and noting, sinusulat nyo, noting the physical characteristics in their natural setting. Yeah. Through observation, you can monitor, watch the progress, no? Or situation that you are evaluating as it occurs. When you are gathering data on individual behavior or interaction between people, okay? Observation method is used in cases where you want to avoid an error. Kasi nga, baka mamaya sabihin bias ka, no? Oh. If you want to avoid an error that can be resolved of bias during evaluations and interpretation processes, it is a way to obtain objective data by watching a particular recording for the analysis at the later stage. Okay. A researcher, the future researcher like us, can use the observation method sa school, like Montessori school. Record the behavior of the children at a young age. Yung mga bulit. Are the children comfortable sharing their tiffin? Tiffin is tiffin ay something light midday na pagkain. Okay. Meal. Yun. In between meal. Okay. Sa PMMA bawal ang in between meal sa mga probi, no? At such an early age will make a good study for the researchers like us. In this example, the researcher can observe and record the details objectively. Observation data collection method needs the full consent of a research participant. Okay. But first, let me show you the terminology sometimes we've been encountering. Okay. O yan, natabunan tuloy. Population, yan, natabunan, ano? Okay. Saan na ba yun? Yung aking, basta alam niyo na yan kung ano yung population. Okay. Then, set of characters or individual or objects within a certain population usually have a common binding characteristics or trait. Participants in a research study are referred to collectively as population. Okay? Sample is just a part of population. Let's say your population was every American. You wanted to find out how much the average person earned. Time, finances, of course, it stopped you from knocking on every door in America or in Manila. So you choose to ask only 1,000 random people. So these 1,000 people is your sample. Okay? So sometimes I will be talking about variables. Sometimes, yung naman, variable, a person or place or thing or phenomenon that you are trying to measure. Okay? So, there are types of observation. Number one is the structured and unstructured. Okay? Okay. Ito, unstructured. O, tignan nyo.
That was beautiful. Well done.
Saglit lang yan.
Really.
Okay.
Each day while they have lunch, the family is observed by other members of the team who record their progress in managing Andrew's behavior. Afterwards, Amanda has an individual therapy session.
How did you tell?
Okay. Okay. So, paano naman itong isa? Okay, look. Okay. Structured, okay, and unstructured observation. Okay. When observation is done by characterizing style of recording the observed information, standardize the condition of observation, definition of the units to be observed, selection of pertinent data of observation, then it is structured. When observation is done without any thought before observation, then it is unstructured. Okay, ito is structured.
Kind has already begun to help Clive and Amanda come to terms with how their problems began. Now it's time to help them with their parenting skills, using what's called a parent-child game. They've been asked simply to play with Andrew, but behind the glass, psychologist Sue Jack is analysing what's going on.
I'm doing the baseline recording just for 10 minutes that we use at the beginning of the parent-child game to find out what sort of ratio there is between the number of child-centred behaviours that everyone's come up with, which are the approving ones, the warm ones, like smiling, praising, giving them nice strokes and touches, and the number of child-directed behaviours. Yes.
Sue Jenner codes every single thing Clive and Amanda say and do. She's especially interested in the balance between their positive child-centered behavior and their more negative child-directed behavior. Parents of unmanageable children tend to be bossy and critical, and research shows this just makes the children worse.
Oh, look at hang on. There's windows there, you want to go to windows? Oh.
I mean, he was very proud of the shed we made. So we built a shed, and the only response he got was, there aren't any windows.
Yes.
And he actually had worked hard on making
Yes.
that shed.
Yes. I mean, with very little input, really.
Keep them going. There's no verbal content.
Well, it's the usual sort of pattern. A little bit of child-centred and mostly child-direct.
Kind has already begun to.
Okay. So let's go to the second. Participants and non-participants. Okay. So non-participants, when observer is observing the people without giving any information to them, then it is non-participant. So parang secret agent, okay? Bayaran na investigador. Okay? So, pero kung ikaw participant, kailangan sumama ka. Okay? Kung kinakailangan magdamit ka ng katulad ng yung dun sa location o sino yung naobserbahan mo, no? Yung kung nakadamit silang pang-igurot, mag-igurot ka na rin, no? So when the observer, okay, participant observation the emphasis is on discovering the meaning that people attach to their actions. The researchers attempt to participate fully in the lives and activities of members. Lives and activities, katulad niyan. of members and thus become a member of the group, no? Organization of the community. Naging kasama ka na sa kanila, sa tribu nila, no? This enables you as the researcher to share, your experiences by not merely observing, but by feeling it. Okay? So, yan yung participants. Okay. So, kung pupunta naman tayo sa control. Okay. Controlled and uncontrolled. Okay. So, controlled, uncontrolled. Controlled when observation takes place according to prearranged plan. O, parang katulad din kanina structured. With experimental procedure naman, then it is controlled observation, generally done in laboratory, under controlled condition. Uncontrolled observation, when the observation takes place in natural condition, uncontrolled observation. Okay? O, ayan. Nandito siya. Kikita natin yung mga unggoy, no? Ayan, binabantayan. Example, the study, the ethologist study of the behavior of the chimpanzees, and the developmental psychologist observation of playing children. Yun. Another example, let's say iba naman yung children naman, to kanina, chimpanzee, mga compare analog observation, self-monitoring observation, structured observation. No? It will take place in a natural setting without the influence of external and outside control. The observer does not plan in advance, but this is related to day-to-day happenings, socio-cultural problems, no? It studies some of our life situation. Okay. Then, tingnan natin ito. Ano ba to? Yan. Ito yung sa participant at non-participant. Nakikita niyo naman yung participant. No? Kasama siya. No? Non-participant, labas na siya. Hindi siya kasama din. Very simple. No? Okay. Now, let's go to very interesting. Okay? Okay. And now, it's time for the intermission muna. Okay. Relax muna tayo. Relax. Intermission. Okay? Dear Kuya, meron ako sa inyong konting gimmick para masyado kayong serious. Let's lock naman kahit konti. No. Okay? So, let's okay, wait para yung intermission ko makita natin. Okay. 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 Dear Kuya, mahirap pala talagang kapag ang pinakamasayang bahagi ng buhay mo ay siya din pinakamasakit sa lahat. Dear love, I write these words with you in mind and in my heart. I love you passionately, genuinely, and wholeheartedly. Amen. Feelings are just visitors. Let them come, let them go. We are the products of our past. But we don't have to be the prisoner of it. Okay? Yan ang ating intermission. Okay? So, I have an example of structured observation, no? Nakita ko ito sa research ko sa Google. Galing kay gawa ni Jack Glaser. Siya yung researcher and assistant researcher and lecturer sa University of Missouri in Columbia sa amin. Okay, the project was planned. Okay, number 1, to test structured observation is used for research in school preparing library and information professionals. Kasi yung gusto nila yung library na pwede rin yung mga professional at saka other upper managers sa mga offices na pwedeng pumunta ron, doon maggawa ng research, yung mga ibang mga higher education like us, no, na nagre-research, they can visit the library. Second, to determine the information use pattern of the specific target group. Okay. The event or series of events is observed in its natural setting and recorded by an independent researcher. Okay. Predetermined categories are used to guide the recording process. Okay. Structured observations could yield specific types of data from unfamiliar and unrehearsed sequence of activities. Okay? The respondents or the subject chosen na ginawa nila ay yung mga city managers. Okay? Sa 10, 5 lang ang willing. Na in-interview nila kasama yung mga staffs and the secretaries. So, what happened? Okay. Shows that it permitted the researcher to gather complete data on complex information interactions. No? Hirap nun, di ba? Iba-iba yun. No? Allowing the researchers more time for analysis, resources, very clear explanation. Okay. So, ang resulta today, yung library na inisip nila, today yung school libraries support the research being done by the students and faculty, as well as the professional and the practitioners. Then, it was found out that structured observation is appropriate for use by academic librarians when used in conjunction with interviews or other data gathering techniques, effective for gathering data about client groups. So, also, it is suited for observing classroom instructions, faculty meetings, curriculum meetings, and individual work of a specific client group. Okay. Okay. So, I'm nearing to my ending my presentation. Okay. Okay. So that's all for my presentation. Okay. This will bring me the end of my presentation. Bye for now. Thank you for listening. Pasensya na kayo sa mga gimmick ko. Okay? Bye-bye. The end. Thank you very much. That's all my presentation. Okay?